Hey everyone, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of iCritic.net, here with a quickie little live stream. Forgive the guerrilla style filming. I'm in my car. I'm kind of down between things. You might hear some people in the background. Can't help that right now. Sorry about that. So anyway, I wanted to talk very Tangle and Whisper. This is a spin-off series that IDW Comics is doing for their Sonic the Hedgehog comic book. Now, I still want to do a full proper review of a year later Sonic the Hedgehog comic. I, as you may be aware, did a video about a little over a year ago about where I reviewed the Sonic the Hedgehog comic by IDW. Wasn't too terribly impressed, but I said I would give it like a year and then come back and share my new thoughts on it. And I still intend to do that. I still intend to do that. Working on the script. Needless to say, my opinion of it has improved just a little bit. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. Enough for me to say that I'm going to stick around for it. However, in the midst of writing it, they actually launched the spin-off series, Tangle and Whisper. Now, this is not exactly anything new per se. In fact, comics, they did spin-off series of their own. They spun off Tales into a little mini-series. They spun off Princess Sally into a little mini-series. They spun off Knuckles a couple times, and finally Knuckles stuck. Knuckles stuck and was a moderately successful. It lasted for 32 issues. And then they gave like a couple one-offs of Sonic stuff, like the which is where they could do ideas that didn't fit into the continuity, and probably like the Sonic Quest, which wasn't really good, to be honest. I think the most successful one they did, honestly, was Sonic Universe, where it's like they could explore the side characters for the Sonic the Hedgehog universe in their own little stories that also built upon the Sonic the Hedgehog. I think that was the best way to do it, and that Archie Comics license with Sega officially expired. Hi, Callum. How you doing? Nice that someone's joining me. Well, Archie is no longer in the picture anymore. Now IDW is doing the Sonic Comics. That's fine. And my feelings about the new comics have been mixed. Again, I will be giving an updated view on my thoughts on the comics, but it was not a surprise. It wasn't too terribly surprising that IDW would want to have a Sonic comic spinoff of their own, and they decided to do Tangle and Whisper, which here's the two covers I have. The retail exclusive cover I actually left at home. And my response, first of all, I thought it was really strange that they would pick these characters to a certain extent, because these characters, to my knowledge, are not in the video games themselves. I mean, I just played Sonic Mania and Forces recently. I don't remember them. Maybe I'm wrong, but they're basically spinning off characters that they created, original characters for the comic, which is interesting that let them use the Freedom Fighters in the IDW comic book because they want it to be more like the games, and yet IDW is creating their own. That's my notice that I've basically got 2 more minutes left. It's interesting that Sega won't let IDW use the Archie comic characters like the Freedom stuff like that because they want it to be like the games, and yet they're letting IDW make a spin-off Sonic comic with originally created characters. And it's more ironic because the whole purpose behind the legal battle between Sega and Ken Penders and Archie Comics to a certain extent was because Ken Penders making original characters for the Archie comic books and copywriting them. So it's interesting that Sega's saying like, oh yeah, you can spin off your original created characters. Now maybe Sega has better paperwork to own these characters. I don't know. I would assume they would. It's just very interesting. The first issue, I mean, you can't tell a whole lot by the first issue alone. Was not impressed at all. Certainly, I mean, not that the Sonic comic is made for adults. It's obviously made for kids, but this felt like more geared towards kids, like for really, really young kids. So again, I will probably, since I'm a Sonic comic collector and want to have all the issues, so I'll probably buy it anyway, but I've so far not been terribly impressed. I will incorporate my thoughts into my year and a half later retrospective of Sonic the Hedgehog about what my current thoughts on the series are. I don't think this justifies a review of its own just yet. But I just wanted to give some quick thoughts on that and was just curious. Have any of you read this series? What do you think about it? I'd love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy the videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly, and you get access to my Patreon's exclusive blog. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one. I'm going to get out of this car now. It's getting really hot.